Speaking of whatever works, I'll tell you one thing that worked in this stream for a very long time was an investigation into the happenings in the world of China, one of the most important countries in the world. And we have let that lapse, but thankfully our China researcher Stefik is now back on the case and has brought us an interesting story for a segment I like to call What's Up Beijing?
我在北京。
Thank you, Xi Jinping, for that glorious introduction. Welcome back to What's Up Beijing. Today I want to talk about a story that I found pretty interesting and relevant to things I've talked about here in America. You guys know that we've had a bit of a fast food war, a price war here in America. And it's between the old-time fast food companies like McDonald's and perhaps newer, better value things like, as I've mentioned over and over, Chili's. We've talked about how people have been flocking to restaurants like Chili's because they offer a better value for the price. Well, I wanted to know what's going on in the fast casual, fast food Chinese market. Again, it's an exploding market, massive economy. How are their consumers handling these different price points and restaurants and things that are going on? And what we found from our researcher is a pretty incredible recent story that combines government, CEOs, influencers, big money, anger, and a whole lot more. So this is what you might call the Chili's of China, Xibei. This is a company that is a close approximate of what Chili's is, but in China. And they are known for being fresh and family friendly, a popular fast casual restaurant chain. They serve authentic home cooked Chinese food for families. You can bring your family in, have a birthday party there. It's Xibei, okay? Again, they're known for having a great kids menu, fresh and family friendly. This chain has been growing rapidly. It has hundreds of stores, thousands of employees, and is nearing a major IPO. So they've grown from nothing, a small little store in, I think, the northern Mongolian area, and have now expanded across China and are going to be like a major IPO. And one thing they're known for, again, we mentioned family friendly here, but also fresh food. They constantly emphasize how fresh the food is. And they even have like open concept kitchens where you can see inside. So you know that like, hey, this is fresh cooked food, okay? So now I want to introduce the two characters here. Our first character is this, Lu Yonghao, Mr. Hao, even you could say, Mr. Hao. This guy was a struggling teacher whose enthusiastic teaching style started to go viral. People would film him teaching and it went viral. And then he became a tech founder, but his tech company flopped and he was in debt. And then he switched to being a live streamer, the hardest job of all, and actually made a ton of money by selling things through live streaming. Yeah, this smartphone company failed. And then he started shilling products on live streaming and had one of the biggest days ever, 50 million, and became semi-famous. This is him now. Huge amount of followers on Weibo, pretty famous. And Stefik informed me, as someone who's followed his content, that he's pretty divisive. He's considered based. He's considered based, but kind of edgy. She said like 55% agree, 45% don't agree. He has a lot of like hot takes. 55% agree, 40% don't agree, okay? Our other character is the CEO of Xibei, Jia Guolong, okay? Probably missed the pronunciation, but he is the founder and CEO. Now again, this company has been built up over 30 years. It has 400 locations, 20,000 employees, and is doing a ton of revenue. Now, this 2023 number is important because they are gearing up for a major IPO around 2025 or 2026. So he needs everything to go perfect because this IPO is like his big cash out after years of building up. It is so important to him that they peak in terms of like popularity and acclaim and love right before this IPO so they can make some money. Outside of what Stefik told me, I looked him up, and what I found was he lives a McDonald's in his heart. This is the first result from Chinese state media about Jia Guolong, is that he lives a McDonald's in his heart. What does that mean? I don't know. I think it's poorly translated. As near as I could tell from trying to read the article is that he sees Xibei as the new McDonald's of a Chinese future. He wants there to be a Xibei in every city. He says, I want to see the Xibei logo glowing in every city around the world. So he's got big plans. So this all kicks off with a fight between these two people. An influencer, former tech blogger, former teacher, and a powerful CEO. And their paths then cross. So this guy goes to a Xibei with some friends, and he has what he calls a very poor experience. He gets on Weibo and he says, look, I haven't been to Xibei in ages, but I got off the plane today and I went for a meal with some coworkers, only to find out almost everything I ate was pre-made and so expensive. Absolutely disgusting. I hope the state passes a law that forces a restaurant to label if it's using pre-made meals. Now, this is just a guy complaining on social media. It wouldn't normally be a big deal, but this somehow strikes a nerve with the Chinese internet and it takes off. It becomes #1 trending on Weibo. People all over are chiming in with their own experience. People are resonating and sharing and retweeting. They're like, hey, I don't fuck with this. Now, what's interesting is that there's two parts. One is that they've been marketing themselves as very fresh. So if a guy says they're pre-made, that attracts a lot of attention. But the other thing, and this is what I found, this is what Stefik told me has like been more important, is that this part really resonates. People are like, damn, it is so fucking expensive. People have been noticing that the price of this food has been going up and up and up, and the quality doesn't feel like it matched. So they're extra pissed about what it costs. What's interesting is this would be the end of it. Like, you know, things on social media come and go. It was a big deal for the day of September 10th, but had nothing else happened, this probably would have died off. But what is the day after September 10th? That's right, September 11th, 9/11. And the CEO of Xibei brought out the Twin Towers. He did not want to take this complaint lying down. So he goes on social media furious at this guy's complaint and pulls out his receipts and says, if you really hated our food, why did you buy 15 dishes? Some of which you bought twice. I'm going to sue you. None of our dishes are pre-made. And if you really didn't like our food, why did you order so much? Okay, September 11th. This is a strong statement. When you first hear this, you're like, wow, he is defending his company. He is beating his chest. This is powerful. And it makes people question what the influencer said. It makes you question Young Hao. But then the CEO makes a mistake. Instead of just defending himself and saying, nuh-uh, he says, to prove that this is such a slanderous lie, starting tomorrow, we're going to open up all our kitchens to the public. Anyone who wants to come by and take a look is welcome to, okay? Feel free. We do not have pre-made food. He says all this stuff. He responds strongly, and he says, and you know what? Just to stick it to this guy, we're adding a Mr. Young Hao meal. They make a brand new meal and a menu item and name it after him without his permission. So this is a woman ordering the meal to check it out, okay? And she's trying it. This is the meal. But anyway, as you can see, this has become a major beef. Like this guy is fighting him. Okay, here's an example of the clip. None of our dishes are pre-made. We will definitely sue him. Okay, now the influencer could back down, having been cowed, or he could go demon mode. This is where the ominous music kicks in. This is where the lightning strikes behind him. Now that the CEO has provoked him, he goes fucking crazy. All hell breaks loose. He starts tweeting, I mean, not tweeting, but like posting on Weibo 20 times in an hour. He is just viciously attacking this company and retweeting and sharing any post from anyone who is talking about the negative quality of their meal. And he throws down a gauntlet. He goes, listen, I'm not opposed to pre-made meals in general. I'm opposed to you lying about it. Consumers have a right to know. He goes live and streams to 6 million. This is still September 11th. This is the same day. He streams to 6 million people. And he also says, listen, I know this guy's lying. I know this CEO is lying. So I'm putting up 100,000 yuan bounty, which is like 15K USD. If anyone can show me legal evidence that these dishes are pre-made. So now it's a real fucking beef. So now not only has the CEO said anyone can come in and check our kitchens, but this guy said there's a bounty for it. This social media war is kicked off. And one interesting thing happens, which is another, I got this from Zhigao, I was looking at this thing. Another major pre-made food company comes out and supports Xibei. They go, hey, look, nothing's perfect, but their meals are relatively safe and delicious. This is like the most damning with faint praise because they are a competitor, but they also don't want people to be too mad about pre-made food. So they're like, hey, nobody's perfect. But then after this gauntlet is thrown down, the CEO of the other company that posted this privates his account and deletes it. So now we're on September 12th, the day after, and everybody is coming to check these kitchens. And what they find is not what the CEO wants people to see. They find expired frozen broccoli, packaged soup concentrate, where they're just distilling it to a fucking powdery soup. They found, you can't see it here because it's cut off, but a marinated lamb leg. The marinated lamb leg was over a year old. The expiration date on it is like September 18th. And they're like, oh, that's not bad. It's September 12th. But it was September 18th last year. It's a year old. Well expired beef, okay? All this stuff gets discovered at Xibei restaurants across China. And it just, all this is going viral on social media and causing a huge backlash. People, again, repeat the same take. I'm fine with pre-made food and I'm fine with expensive prices, but I'm not fine with expensive pre-made dishes. And people are also pointing out that like the only reason all of this is coming out is because the CEO tripled down. He couldn't allow any negative consequences. And so this guy goes, I studied the art of war all night and I couldn't figure out which chapter CEO Jia pulled this trick out of. Again, they also focus on the fact that like they're targeted as like really healthy food for kids. And this guy's saying, I got a 1-year-old child chewing on a 2-year-old broccoli. More memes that came out. Again, this is the frozen lamb leg that was turning 1 year old. And they made this comic of a lamb saying, it's been a whole year since I died. Why can't I reincarnate? And the king of the underworld says, your physical body has not yet fully returned. You still have a leg in a Xibei freezer. So everyone's getting creative with it and they're just roasting the shit out of Xibei. Xibei has been trying so hard to avoid any negative press for their upcoming IBO, and now they're getting roasted by the entire Chinese internet constantly, and it's feeding off each other. The memes are creating more memes. It's becoming a really big deal. So the CEO comes out and tries to clarify. He goes, when I said we're not pre-made food, I meant according to the strict definition of the law. We are obviously pre-prepped for speed. We have pre-prepped frozen ingredients, but it's not a pre-made dish unless the dish is fully created somewhere else and then just heated up on site. He's technically correct. Like he is right. By the letter of the law, it's not pre-made, but it is like mostly frozen food made at off-site locations and then heated up on site, which again is fine for a fast casual place that has many chains, but it contradicts their marketing and it contradicts their price. That's the problem. Again, Applebee's does this, Chili's does it. It's not crazy. It's just that it's you've been so focused on saying how fresh you are. Yeah, and then people respond and say, listen, to consumers, if it's not fresh, it's pre-made. I don't care what definition you use. The official definition and public opinion don't match up. Plus, again, Xibei is too expensive. We feel like we're getting ripped off. And we're gonna talk about this later. I mean, actually, I'll skip ahead to this because it's important. There is another chain in China that serves, I'll be honest with you, Italian food, in quotes. It serves Italian food. It didn't look very Italian to me. And they are incredibly cheap, and obviously pre-made, but they don't lie about it. And so everybody loves them. It's like Olive Garden, I guess, but everybody, they're considered well-loved and everyone knows it's pre-made and they don't care because it's cheap. The problem is with this one is that it's very expensive. So remember that bounty Luo offered? He says, look, I offered 100,000 yuan to whoever proved that they were using pre-made dishes. Well, since the CEO himself proved it, I'm gonna give the money to him. And then he live streams himself going to the bank, getting the money and sending it to the CEO. He's very content pilled. I don't have the video here, but also as part of their because obviously the CEO's like, okay, we're losing the social media war. We need to do a live stream of our own. So he hosts a live stream of his own where he does a walkthrough of the restaurant and shows the dishes. And that live stream ends with him yelling at his own chefs that they aren't showing the best quality stuff. So it's all going bad. Like the CEO is like stepping in one rake after another with bad PR and like tanking a brand that he's built for 30 years. Again, he says, we want to reiterate, we're not against prepackaged food or pre-prepared food, but you have to be transparent about it. And the main question here has been, well, what side will the Chinese government land on? Because once something gets big enough on social media, the Chinese government is aware of it and they're going to make an official statement. And the idea was, are they going to side with the CEO and maybe perhaps even delete some of these comments or tamp down on all this anger? The Chinese state media comes out and says exactly what the influencer said. They go 100%. This is the official state headline. They are locked in, okay? You need to be super transparent with your customers about pre-made food. So now it's like a victory. The guy has won the war. There's nothing that stops him now. The meme war against Xibei is completely free to run wild. One more thing that the CEO did to try and win back the people of the internet. Xibei posts this story about a mom who is taking her son past a Xibei store. And the son's like, can we go eat at Xibei? And she goes, no, I heard about the stuff on social media. We can't go. And then the kid starts crying. And the kid goes, I'm so devastated I can't eat at Xibei. And so they share this story far and wide, like, you're hurting children. This social media campaign is hurting children because they can't go enjoy, but this just infuriates people more. It's as if Xibei's PR team won't stop until they destroy the company. This just makes everybody even angrier. So everything they've done is backfired. And finally, they throw in the towel. Finally, they realize, like, this is completely lost. Nothing we can do is working and we're getting cooked, like our pre-made food. So the CEO comes out and says, dear customers, I'm sorry we haven't met your expectations. Here are 9 ways we're improving our menu. We're gonna reduce pre-prep dishes. Now they say reduce, not remove, because it really is core to their business model. But one main thing they say is like, some of the foods in the kids menu will be fresh now, which is like a full admission that they weren't fresh before. But they do say they're gonna change. They're gonna make change things. And we're gonna listen to future customer suggestions. They basically apologize. And this would be great, except at the same time, or at least right before, a leaked group chat message from the CEO comes out where he says, yeah, he helped improve my company, but he's part of the internet mafia and an online blackmouth, which Stefan informed me is like a worse thing to say in Chinese. It doesn't sound that bad, but so it kind of undercuts what he's saying publicly and privately, which makes, Luo say, I was gonna let this go, but he just wouldn't stop. So he keeps attacking. Now, one final thing that comes up as the meme is their apology letter includes what the CEO has been saying the whole time, which is like, even if you customers torture me 1,000 times with your crazy demands, I'll always treat you like my first love. He keeps saying like, I'm a good CEO and you guys are going to torture me, but I will push through and treat you like my first love. That's really powerful. But the online response is like, which customer is torturing you? We're not torturing you by pointing out that the food is too expensive. So at the end of the day, after all this, after this PR nightmare, including after the apology where it's died down a little bit, the Xibei daily turnover has fallen by 3 million won heading into their IPO. It's like their biggest crisis in the 37 years of the company. They're having a pretty significant fall, and people are reporting, again, a lot of videos are going live on social media. People are walking around Xibei restaurants and noticing they're way more empty. Another thing. A lot of other major restaurants in China that used to say no pre-made food, all dishes freshly made, quietly have pulled it off of their marketing material. In response to seeing what's happening, like people are noticing it's being removed from everywhere else and Xibei is doing a kind of rebrand. So people are noticing when they go to Xibei restaurants, they no longer look like this. They look like this, which have more green and a new slogan that says, I come from the grasslands, which I guess is to like imply a new refocus on healthiness and freshness. And they have made changes. I don't know how effective, but this is happening. So additionally, they kind of have to make some changes because the government not only has publicly supported this guy, but have made official law changes. They're not out yet, but they're being drafted to require you to label things as pre-made if they are. So you need to have improved labeling standards. So at the end of the day, I think I saw a comment that really summed this up for me, which is like, this CEO is from a different era of China. He's from an era, like the hyper growth at all costs era. And now they're in the social media, more mature era. And the idea that you could just triple down and ignore the customer and power through is not working. It's not working. Like the social media and influencers have too much power in this case, and he got completely caught in it. So they've yielded consumer pressure. It remains to be seen whether they'll be able to pull off their IPO, but they're in a worse spot. And that is the update on the chilies of China, Xibei. Thank you to Stefik for doing the research. Thank you to one more perspective China, and then Jagao for this image right here from the website. So we're going to try and bring this back with regular updates on some things that are going viral in China, because this is like the biggest story in China for a week. And we want to cover that regularly and have you get a better idea of like what the hell's going on over there. They're not so different. They have social media trends just like us. And, oh, funny thing on that subject, we'll end on this little note. The game Road to Empress. So my researcher Stefik wants me to play Road to Empress on stream, but she also mentioned that the Road to Empress playthroughs of people like Ludwig are going viral in China. Not Omega viral, but they are going viral, of Northern Lion and of Ludwig, of people just laughing at their pronunciation and the things they're doing. So I wonder if I have a quote that she said. Yeah, people are getting hooked on foreign reactions to the game. The cultural interpretations and differences are just fascinating. I think that's pretty funny. This is a translated post from China about Ludwig, where they're laughing at everything he does, but especially his pronunciation of my dad, which is apparently perfect. So I don't know, it's funny. I'm excited to try it myself after I finish Silk Song.